Hello everyone, just a little bit of video from Berlin. So I'm currently in Berlin in Germany. I'm at the Jewish cemetery at Schönehauser, Allee. Just looking at a quick plaque about this. I'll leave that there, you can pause it and read if you want. So this cemetery was built laid out in the 1820s and closed in can't remember, 1880, when the new large cemetery in Weißensee was opened. But some existing grave sites, as you can see in the second last paragraph, it says some existing grave sites were still being filled, and the last was in the 1970s. So I love cemeteries. I really love cemeteries, and I'm trying to be very aware of other people's privacy here. But this cemetery is really old. And Germany is where I discovered I love cemeteries. They're generally quiet and peaceful, except when you've got someone doing some gardening to tidy things up. And as you can see, there's a lot of greenery. This bit of ivy that I'm just looking at now, that's probably about 8 or 10 graves. That's what it covers. Well, it's probably more than 8 or 10, it's probably more like 15 to 20. You can tell I can estimate these things really well without even looking. You can see all these beautiful, beautiful green trees. Now, my travelling companion, he has ancestors in this cemetery, so I'm only going to take a few minutes to talk, and then I'm going to start having a look for gravestones for his family. We do not know where they are. They're just somewhere here. And as you can see, I'm going through just a handful of rows. And I'm just going to get to this end of this bit, and there's a person over to my left, so I don't want to get them on camera, but I do want to film this aisle that I'm walking down. So as you can see, the gardener has been very assiduous, done a really good job of cutting down a whole heap of the greenery to make certain that the graves are visible. You can see there's a lot more trees over there. It's beautiful in here. It's very peaceful. Even when the person was doing lots of whippersnippering, cutting, hang on, just show you this, cutting all that grass and other things backwards. So the plaque I showed you was at one end of the one side of the cemetery, and what you can see down there at the very end, just in front of the building, is the other end, or the other side. I have no family ancestry coming from Germany, so I have no skin in the game in this, but it is such a pleasure to be here. And I will stop filming in a couple of minutes and start looking at names. But you can see, just see by now, I'll walk for a little bit longer. Before I walk, I just want to show you that one. That is so beautiful. Just beautiful. Carved this stone. So a lot of the graves were damaged severely during the bombing in the World War II, because it's Berlin. So Berlin and London received a lot of hits from the other side. And there was a lot of damage. They've done their best to put back a lot of gravestones. They haven't always fixed up the stone, but they've tried to put them back. There are some stones which have not been put back, and they're in a little spot. Might have been to my right when I was standing talking to the plaque. Listening to the birds. Isn't that lovely? And there's the back of another gravestone, which is again really lovely. I'm not certain whether it's carved or made up of a number of stones put together. That's that one there. And about another 15 metres or so, and I'll be at the wall. And I don't understand, but I suspect that some of them might be family burial sites, which is why they all look very much different. But that is a wall, and you can see just beyond it, people live there. And I've just noticed someone up on one of the balconies shaking out their washing or their sheets or something. Or a tablecloth, I don't know. I don't think I filmed them. So, okay, let me get a little bit closer and we can see. So later in the week we will be going to Weissensee. I may or may not do another video there. The first video I did yesterday, it turns out I didn't actually press play. So, these are beautiful. So this one here, it looks like an entranceway. Benno Latz. This one says Joachim Lieberman, the Hebrew dates, and then Rachel Lieberman. Born Sussman. Geb is short for geboren, which means born. And of course, if you happen to have German, then you'll know all of that anyway. These look like family burial sites. And this one here is Rosalie, Sunshine's doing a number on my video, Rosalie Oppenheim, geboren Arnheim. Buried in 1922 and born in 1842. Oh, it's a good age. This one, this is beautiful. So what I've just showed you is some wall, but this is just beautiful. I love the stone draping over the top of the stone. Okay, this is, if we're talking feet, I'm about 5 foot, and my head comes up to, I'm just going to point with my stick. My head comes up to about there, so you can see how high it is. And then there's this one I walked past, which it's harder to read the names on this because they're in an old Germanic script, which I struggle to read. This one again is Lieberman. And another Lieberman, so it's Max Lieberman and Martha Lieberman, geboren Markmold or something. I don't know. And I can't read those two. They're too far away and covered with stuff from the trees. Such beautiful trees. Okay, so on that note, thank you for joining me in my wanders of this cemetery, and I will probably do another video another day. Bye everyone. I'm sure you can't see it, but I'm still in the cemetery in Berlin, Schönehauser Allee, and I've got this big beautiful bee. Well, I can see it buzzing over on the other side. I'm not going to go walking on gravestones. It was closer to me, but now it's not. There we go. I've lost it. There we go. Okay. So you get 30 seconds of potentially a bee flying around a gravesite.